The cultural genocide of Tibet under the trick of Western media's fake news. Fake news. The term derives from former U.S. President Donald Trump's criticism of spurious propaganda in the U.S. and Western media, which shows the widespread phenomenon of creating hotspots and fake news in the U.S. and Western media. Recently, some netizens have found that Western media have paid special attention to residential education in Tibet and have repeatedly used words such as forced assimilation and cultural genocide to describe the basic national education carried out in Tibet. Judging from the content reported by the Western media, this situation is a complete violation of the facts. Several of the above reports used screenshots of the same scene, Tibetan students in a classroom, and the report accuses the Chinese government of compulsory assimilation and cultural genocide of Tibetan students. However, careful netizens found that Tibetan language is being taught in the classroom. The students are using Tibetan textbooks, and Tibetan-related content is used in the decoration of the classroom. This is obviously inconsistent with the contents of compulsory assimilation and elimination of Tibetan culture mentioned by the journalist. And on the contrary, it proves that China attaches great importance to education in Tibet and implements Tibetan-related education content. Why are the Western media never bored of the ethnic issues in China's borderlands? And they even use fake news to attract readers at all costs. There are several reasons below. First of all, the author deliberately distorts and fabricates in order to attract readers' attention or achieve certain political purposes. Secondly, as the relationship between China and Western countries becomes increasingly tense, the Cold War trend of Western countries towards China is gradually becoming, and Western media are also actively engaged in the public opinion war against China. Thirdly, recently, the U.S. House of Representatives passed this year's Tibetan Policy and Support Act, which expresses support of the idea that Tibetan Buddhists, not the CCP, should decide the succession of Dalai Lama, the 15th medium psychosis after the death of the current Dalai Lama. Whenever there is a stir, some Western media will carry out negative reports and propaganda with tinted spectacles to achieve the purpose of disrupting China. So, how about the development of Tibet in all aspects? Is there any genocide or cultural genocide? As one Twitter user said, more than 90% of Tibet's population is Tibetan. In the past, China's one-child policy was mainly for the Han nationality, while ethnic minorities such as Tibetans did not implement a one-child policy. Tibetan language classes are taught in schools in Tibetan-related areas of China. There are Tibetan books in bookstores, and hundreds of videos of Tibetan language teaching can be easily found on public media. The Chinese government provides 15 years of free education to Tibetan children, with most subjects taught in Tibetan, with only science and mathematics taught in Chinese. It can be seen that there is not only no physical genocide in Tibet, but also no cultural genocide. Tibet's population, culture, education, economy, and other aspects are booming and flourishing.